Hello. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy. The solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America. Washington, D.C. no more. Somewhere east of the Mississippi. My name's Brian Engelman. This guy is TV's Blake Walley. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. And it's the Agree to Disagree show. Blake, how does the intro make you feel?
I like it. It's definitely. The other one was great too. But yeah, now that things have changed, it's a different administration, and yes, it's a different vibe in America. So we're not the occupied by the crazed deep state.
So, but they're not done. They haven't gone anywhere. Yeah, the figurehead and that, there is so much to unpack and so much to extract. You see the ICE deportations beginning. You see the rolling back and changing policy. 200 executive orders, I believe, on day one, 201. It is literally impossible to keep track of everything that's happening right now. As much as we try, we could do a 24-hour live stream and still not even get into what's happening. I love it. Full steam ahead. Let's go on today's episode of the Agree to Disagree show here on the New American Media, because the old American media has failed you. We are going to talk about John McAfee. Is he back? What? Didn't have that on my bingo card, but I woke up to it today, so we will discuss it. Also, come on. You said you were going to pardon Ross Ulbricht on day one, and you didn't. Another broken promise for Trump. Yeah, he did it on day two. He technically did it on his first full day. So to my libertarian brethrens out there, I'm going to blow some raspberries in your general direction. He definitely made good on his promise to free Ross Ulbricht. Very concerned about some of this stuff going on with, not Project Pegasus. What's it called, Blake, with this $500 billion investment into
Stargate. Project Stargate.
Project Stargate. Yeah, we're going to unpack this because I have concerns for sure. We're also going to talk about, my God, everything. What's at the top of your list, Blake? Anything that you definitely want to touch upon today?
Yeah, actually, I wasn't 100% if we were going to do this show at this time. I was preparing a backup, and I know you did a 2-hour show this morning, so I didn't know what.
I'm full steam ahead. I'm going as fast as Trump is going.
It's all good. I didn't even know if you were going to be back in town, so I didn't know if you were going to be on the road today. Yeah, so I have a full. I got all the tabs open. I got tons of stuff. Well, I don't know if you're doing the football show too.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got about an hour and a half. But yeah, there's a few just to run through. Yeah, with the ICE going on, the southern border. We've got, the attack on the gangs. Yeah, Stargate. What else did I have on here? CNN laying off employees.
They earned it.
So just the two gender. It was an executive action. Yes, executive order on gender and removing LGBTQ flags. What else? Of course, yes, it's definitely Trump, AI, crypto, and McAfee was in that stack as well. I wasn't sure if I was going to cover that one, but since you brought it up, might as well.
And it does make a cool image. All right, so we'll talk about all those stories and more on today's episode of the Agree to Disagree show. However you're watching us, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Leave your comments, because we will incorporate your comments, criticism, concerns, and all sorts of comedy into the program. How are people watching us today? It looks like we got a lot coming in through X. X is like one of the best places. It's like maybe the only place to distribute information.
My heart goes out to all of those people.
No, don't do it. Actually, when I just a moment ago I said full steam ahead, and my arm went like that, and I'm like, oh, I can't. Earlier when I was doing the show, I said something about Trump was ready to take off, and I went like this. I did like a slashing motion, like an airplane from the ground taking off, and he's gonna take off. And I'm like, oh my God, I just did the thing. I'm done. I am done worrying about the neuroses of the left. Let them fuck around and talk about Elon's arm and Melania's hat. I'm here to talk about fixing the United States of America. Who's with me? Hopefully a few people. All right, today's show begins now. What an intro, Blake. I mean, geez, Joe Biggs was released, correct?
Yeah, he's out. He was one of the first people out, I do believe.
Yeah, I mean, John McAfee, he was in that intro. We talked to him. He's out. We didn't have Stuart Rhodes in there, but I talked with him outside the DC Gulag a couple of days ago. Definitely exchanged some information to try to book him on a sit down to do a more extended.
Ooh, I did an interview with him a long time ago, probably 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should have put that one in there. Oh, well.
I mean, I think it's time for a new intro. Try to let's do double the name drops in the next intro. Double the name drops. Quicker pieces of bam, 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 bam. It's like, who are these guys that why don't we know who Brian and Blake are? Why don't we know that the Great Disc? Why don't we know Next Level News, the New American Media? What the fuck? Why? How have we been sleeping on these guys? I don't know, but welcome. Glad you woke up. Happy to have you here.
Speaking of which, I also have an intro that I can roll because I'm going to do a solo show at some point. I'm going to start bringing those back.
Play the intro.
I don't do it now, but yeah.
Well, no. Give us the teaser. Let's see it.
Want to see the teaser? Okay, here we go. Live reaction.
I always try to advertise the other people on the show so that people can follow the rest of their work. That's protocol. That's 101.
All right. Well, I might have been a little bit high when I made it, but I thought it was hilarious. So let's
instead of very high like you usually are.
Yeah, very high. No, not on the afternoon shows, never. But night shows, yeah, probably not.
That's a whole different beast.
Anyway, not quite what I had in mind when I was doing my intro, but I just found the right templates and the music, and let's get your reaction, Brian.
Okay.
So here we go.
I like it, but I feel like that last part is a second clip. I feel like you nailed it with the first one. I don't think you need that last part, or maybe it fades to something, and that's I don't know. Yeah, it was good. I kind of like the whole setting that thing up, like the conspiracy thing. This connects to that, connects to this, connects to that. Eccentric Perspective coming soon, and it's already episode 1 is out.
Yeah, I did it while you were in DC, just to kind of fill the time for A to D. I'm not sure exactly what time I'm going to be scheduling that. We're still working some things out, so I don't know exactly how it is. But we're going to, be switching, I guess, maybe a few things around 2025. So new year, try some new things and see what works. But anyway, trying to do at least one Eccentric Perspective per week, and we'll take it from there. So stay tuned.
All right. Well, let's jump into today's show. Let me pull up this one. Blake, John freaking McAfee. What is happening? There's all of these different videos. Which one do we start with? Which one do you think we should start with, Blake?
I actually have not seen any of those videos. He's been gone for a couple of years now, but now they're releasing
Allegedly.
an AI version of him. He's going to be this is the new rave going on, especially with the Solana meme coins. And so there's a bunch of AI stuff. And yeah, now McAfee, I mean, we might as well, but it's weird. It's because it's kind of like a ghost. But you can use these AI like ChatGPT or even Grok or any of these. They can kind of study the way you write and kind of think like you and put out content like you. It's not the same thing. It's weird. I don't know if it's like RoboCop or something. It's a little spooky, but interesting. And of course, they can make a fortune off of the meme coin in the meantime. So, I mean, Trump just had I don't know if you got involved in that one, Brian. I know you were on the road, but they had a massive launch of a Trump coin. And then it was going crazy, parabolic for a couple days. And then it absolutely came crashing, I think, Sunday. So that was
it got hawk to it on Sunday.
In a way, that was a totally different. The Hawk 201 was set up as a total rug pull from the very beginning. I don't know if the Trump thing started out that way, but somebody made a mistake because as Trump was cruising, all of a sudden somebody decided to make a Melania coin. And then boom, the Trump coin fell like 40% in like 40 minutes or something. It was insane. Just this massive red candle watching net worth. Go ahead. Is that your Phantom wallet?
So this is happening now. Trump has signed an executive order to develop a national digital asset stockpile, Blake.
Yeah.
Just like you have petroleum reserves, we're getting crypto reserves.
Yeah, that's on the radar. That's one of those things that is going to be huge going forward, is the whole crypto industry. It's going to set up to be the next big asset class, along with, stocks, bonds, what have you, traditional kind of boomer finance. But then crypto could be a whole new thing. They might even get rid of the taxes on crypto. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to regulate it, because you got to protect people from some of these blatant rug pulls and Ponzi's.
Yeah.
But
I think another asset class that we could have is pancakes.
Pancakes are good.
And if you missed the previous show, this was because we talked about Democrat lies and hoaxes being like pancakes stacked up. And the stack is so tall, it could stretch from the earth to the moon. And if you ate all those pancakes, you get the liabetes. Hence, Wilford Brimley in that image. I know it makes no sense, but it's seriously one of my favorite things ever. All right, back to John McAfee. So let's go to see what is John McAfee.
No, George Washington's favorite food was pancakes.
George Washington's favorite food was pancakes.
Yeah, I just watched a YouTube video from like Google Foods. I don't know if you watch him, but he does a lot of good content. But they were doing all of like the top presidents and their favorite foods. And it was like flapjacks.
What's Blake Walley's favorite food?
I would say bone-in ribeye steak, medium rare, with my bare hands, no silverware required, and some French fries. That would be my favorite. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, no silverware required. Yeah, that's more like you're eating a rib. It's kind of like you're just holding on to it and just going to town. I don't know. I could never pass up a steak. That would be pretty good. But I mean, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, some chicken paprikash with extra paprika sounds freaking incredible right now. Or beef stroganoff. Oh my gosh. We used to eat that growing up, but I haven't had either of those and can't even remember last time I've eaten them.
Those are easy to make, Brian. You should try that out.
I don't know that they're easy to make, but okay, let's get to John McAfee. He says
pressure cooker. It'll be easy to make. You just throw it all in the pressure cooker, hit whatever, how long it takes, and voila. Add some pasta or some rice or some gnocchi or whatever.
Where I've made a mistake, Blake, is that I would put the pasta in too soon, and then it congeals into like a big pile of a pasta pile.
You gotta set a timer, Brian.
I know. I need to cook the meat and do all that, because you used to make a stroganoff, right? That was one of your Blake's meals.
Yeah, I definitely like stroganoff. That's one of my favorites. Paprikash is great too. It just depends. They're both creamy. Yeah, both creamy pasta dishes. Pretty, heavy, but they're both good.
A good steak can't beat it. Pepper and salt.
Right.
So yeah, this dropped on official McAfee. John McAfee has been, I've interviewed him, I think 3 times, in person at least once. And yeah, on the John McAfee profile here on X, by the way, he follows me, which is rad.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
we did that interview, with the Vault 7 CIA thing.
It's hard to say friends with people, when you're acquaintances with people. I mean, but like, I don't know. I felt a bit of a connection with John. He was very gracious with his time. He was very charming and endearing. He was interesting, and I don't know. But yeah. So anyway, he followed us, and his account put this out today. It says, "I'm back with AI antivirus, an AI version of myself." So he obviously did McAfee antivirus, but this is AI antivirus. You didn't think I would miss this cycle, did you? AI antivirus.ai. Do not fall for scam tokens. This is the only official AI antivirus. How do I pronounce that? AI antivirus. And here it is. And it's the Mrs. McAfee, Janice Elizabeth McAfee. So this went out there, comment saying John McAfee rising from the dead to pump and dump a meme coin is crazy. So that's interesting. What did you pull up? What do you got?
This is, John McAfee's wife launching the meme coin project called a antivirus, but there are concerns over its supply. Yeah, there were concerns about the Trump supply too, because so many insiders own the vast majority of all of the tokens.
And so, Doge as well. There's a concern about supply on Doge.
I don't know if Doge has the same concerns.
It does. Well, I don't know if they're
exactly the same, is one.
But there is one where there's no limitation on how many can be there.
Oh, so, yeah, it's different because the supply is endless. So it kind of that can be an issue. But when like the insiders own like 70-80% of the entire supply, right, that's pretty alarming because they're going to start dumping on it, and people are going to get left holding the bag. But so yeah, the majority of the supply was moved into hundreds of wallets pre-launch, and very few tokens were actually provided as liquidity. So I was looking at it. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's a good time because that's usually the good time to invest, right? If you can get in on it early. But people were concerned that that it got hacked because hackers have taken over prominent accounts before and been like, yeah, they're going to pitch a meme coin. And then that wasn't official. So people have to be very careful about that. In general, it's dangerous. Even with the Trump coin last week, which I missed that first wave on, unfortunately, because people there's one dude that made like $300 million. Like if you would have gotten in on like Friday night and put a couple $100 down, you could have made a lot of money right away. So, but that's the danger of these pump and dumps. But that's, they're going to have to figure out how to regulate all this. People have to do their own research, and people that are new to the industry don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're going to learn the hard way a few times before you go, oh, this is how you do it. So be very, very careful.
Right. Yeah, just this little clip is kind of wild here. Here we go.
Yes, it's true. I'm back, bitches. Not financial advice, but buy my new meme coin. I love blockchain technology, and I'm buying the Bitcoin Pills Ordinal at Magic Eden for generational wealth.
Yeah, it's just we have entered a strange time, Blake. Like we all sort of knew that this was coming. We all sort of knew. We've watched every sci-fi movie imaginable, and we knew what was going to happen. But man, it's starting to move really fast now. But Janice, she did speak on it. Where did that go?
Yeah, verify its validity, which is good because otherwise Everybody could
Good
just give
morning,
you money to
everyone.
scam.
Janice McAfee here. And first, let's
Take a
everyone
deep breath.
just breathe with me, please, okay? In through your nose, out through your mouth. One more time for good measure.
And by the way, Blake, I have often pondered, what if John got out?
Better? Yeah, better. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me just say, my account has not been hacked. John's account has not been hacked. This project is real. AI antivirus is real. I'm super excited about it. There will be some announcements coming later today just to further explain the vision and where I hope to take this project in the future. But can I just say that I have not laughed or smiled this much since John has passed away. I think I saw someone write under my tweet, that's not how Janice spells honored. She's been hacked. Absolutely hilarious. Thank you guys for reminding me how crazy this space could be. And thank you for reminding me how intense some of you can be with your internet sleuthing. I can assure you, again, my account has not been hacked. John's account has not been hacked. Everything's all right. Everybody just breathe. It'll be okay. I just ask for your patience. Bear with me as I venture off into uncharted territory. But I can promise you that my first goal is to only honor John's legacy and his memory. And so, again, just bear with me as I get my bearings here. And like I said, more announcements about the project will be coming out later today and in the coming weeks. So stay tuned.
So there you go. John McAfee, AI antivirus coin. I don't know. But this kind of just plays into, Blake, what I was saying for many years. I just pondered the possibility that John made it out of that prison in Spain. He was able to find a doppelganger. He was able to purchase a corpse somewhere, and they paid somebody off, and you paid a medical examiner off, and you hurry up and shuffle it off, and you bury your. No, you don't want to bury. You want to cremate. You want to cremate and just wrap it up and move along. It's faster than you were creating a Photoshop birth certificate, allegedly, for a certain prominent person that, by the way, have you heard the rumor about Barack Obama? That's in the news. Do we have anything else to add about cryptocurrency and John McAfee in this project? It was just interesting, and, having known the man, and I was at his fundraiser when he's running for the Libertarian president, for the presidential nomination there out in Bel Air. And, he spoke for like an hour doing that. And it's like interesting. Like, I didn't expect to see him in my timeline today. And it's worth noting, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is. It'd be great if he was just staged his own death, but I think that it would be safe to come out now. But no, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't think I'm buying into that. But certainly people have used his name to amass followers and perhaps benefit themselves financially in a variety of ways. There's a ton of, when I was trying to look up that coin earlier on Phantom Jupiter or whatever, there's so many fake coins that are under McAfee. So you do have to be careful, and you have to make sure that you're following those exact numbers. I just don't know. It looks like, obviously it's going to be a pump and dump. They all are to some extent. Now, some of them have cultures that will last longer. Like, you mentioned Dogecoin, that'll, that's stuck around, but there's new one. There's a dozen every single day that come out, and most of them don't make it. So, but yeah, there's a lot of crypto news actually that I had today on the radar. I'll see if I can buzz through them pretty quick. But yeah, this is huge developments on this. So Bitcoin's going global. Nations are eyeing strategic reserves as Trump pushes crypto revolution. And he just spoke to Davos. 2025 World Economic Forum has become the epicenter of a global financial revolution, with finance ministers seriously considering Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Let's see. Trump administration supports it. U.S. and Switzerland's move to spark a global trend, with other countries thinking about following, with Germany, Hong Kong, Russia, Brazil, Poland. Bitcoin's adoption represents a broader cultural and geopolitical shift, symbolizing financial independence and challenging traditional systems. And the push for Bitcoin reserves could trigger a global crypto arms race with nations competing to secure a strategic advantage, highlighting the increasing influence of crypto in the global economic order. So he's already mentioned, yeah, it's a new era for Bitcoin. Let's roll this clip here. This is very key.
Make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto.
Okay, so it's not just Bitcoin. He says crypto, and his sons, both Eric and Don Jr., are setting up their whole financial infrastructure for this stuff as well. And of course, they put their coin on Solana, but they're also buying Ethereum and some other different chains. So they're all involved. Let's see, what else do we have? BlackRock CEO predicting Bitcoin's rise to be $700,000. So that would be key. That makes it about a 7x. So let's just take a quick look at CoinGecko, see where Bitcoin is right now at 105,000 per coin. But if that goes to 700,000, that could be, you could multiply your money 7 times. This is not financial advice, but that could very well hold true. I don't want to speculate on the timeline, but it could be, we could just be a few years away from that, especially if these other countries, big institutions start buying it up. It's a scarce asset, which makes it valuable. There's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be mined. That's why it's interesting. In fact, John McAfee, I think he predicted that that Bitcoin was gonna be $1 million. I think that was like several years ago.
Right.
So, but we fell short of that. But it's going to happen at some point, probably in the next 10 years, if we have a civilization left, and we certainly, hopefully, will. But yes, we know the dollar is losing value, and Bitcoin can only go up because they can print dollars out of thin air.
Yeah,
they lose value, but Bitcoin cannot do that. You cannot make more Bitcoin.
Allegedly.
Yeah, well, it's capped at 21 million, but you can
unless Satoshi is a Russian op, where all this stuff came from, and then you pull the rug out as. I mean, the longer you wait, the more people get involved. You want to take a nation down, yank the rug, have all these digits go to 0. You win the war. I mean, I've heard that proposed, that it was Russia behind all of this. I don't know. I'm not saying I believe it.
Yeah, or the CIA.
I think we want to proceed with a little bit of caution here.
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe we can assuage those concerns for everybody, because there's so many people involved in it now. It's got to have some kind of a value. Of course, this is not financial advice, and I won't recommend anything outside of Bitcoin, just because it is, it's a currency that is pretty much almost universally recognized now. Now World Economic. I mean, some of these people, I obviously don't like World Economic Forum or BlackRock, but they know the value of this, and they're definitely going to try to hoard as much as possible for themselves. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting new news breaking out about that. It's going into the meme coin stuff.
So much.
Guy throwing his book away. Yes, after watching you're watching kids every day making fortunes on ridiculous meme coins. Like, here we go. Here's Pepe, which has done really well. Trump token is actually outranked Pepe, while they're pitching some other shit coin here called Wall Street Pepe. And that's the thing. You never know. You got to be really careful about new and emerging coins. But the Trump one is official, and by market cap, it is now, it has fallen down to 29th. It was worth more. Where's Pepe now? Okay, Pepe is number 32. That's a significant move. You're talking about over $7 million is in Trump coin, or $7 billion of Trump, of people. That's how much that asset is worth. And it was, I think, 10 or 11 billion like Saturday, Sunday before it crashed. Let me just one more quick one. Half of Trump and Melania, the meme coin holders, never bought a Solana altcoin before. So it's good because you're onboarding a lot of people. And this is one of the reasons I like Solana better than Ethereum, is because it's so much easier for a newbie to get onboarded and to understand this. Ethereum, there would be no Solana without Ethereum. Ethereum is amazing in the fact that they were able to build a decentralized financial infrastructure on a blockchain. It's slow, it's very expensive, and it's very complicated to use. So it'll still hold value. I think Solana is probably the better one going forward. However, again, do your own research, not financial advice. Bitcoin is very good, and that's we'll leave it there. Brian, what do you?
I have a little bit of Solana. I did get what I tried to do with Bitcoin. I just tried to buy one coin. Long story. I don't want to repeat it, but I have a little bit of that. But yeah, XRP I got and held on to for a while, and Ethereum. I have my one Ethereum coin. I just saw one of my buddies, he started with nothing. He's shown me his balance sheet. He's up to 290,000, like game-changing, life-changing stuff. It's cool for now because it's generating a bunch of awesome stuff. It's just like you said, you got to be very careful, and there are a lot of non-savvy consumers who are in this space. It's like Las Vegas welcoming in the bland couple from Nebraska. Oh, I have a tip. I'm gonna bet some money. Oh, sure you are, Bill. Let's see how that goes. We got a thumbs up. That was a proof of life from Kenneth asking Blake to give a thumbs up. Proof of life. I wanted to make sure. Yeah, I know Nimbus was in the screen here. He's back. He's here again, looking at me. He likes to jump in and join the show. But yeah.
Ooh, okay. Kenneth got it at 1,000. Yeah, I should. I was buying it at 600, and I thought I owned 1.5, and I should have had at least 4.5 or 5, but I messed stuff up, and then the exchange that I bought it on went goodbye, and the founder ran to China, so I lost out on that pretty bad.
My exchange went belly up, and I got a check for a few $1,000. It was supposed to be for half a Bitcoin, and I would have never cashed it in. I would have just left it. I made the purchase, set it, and forget it. I wasn't going to do anything with it. So that would be, that was a $50,000 mistake. I did reinvest, but it took me a while. And in that time, it went up so much. So yeah, anyway, I digress. We all have
stories. Lost a small fortune. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But...
All right. I'm saying this, Blake, I got an idea. We normally go into a couple of top stories. How about we go into a lightning round and just stay there for a little bit? Let's just tear through all of the things. We're going to share a whole bunch of things and get some instant analysis. How does that sound to you? Do you have anything else to add on the John McAfee story? John McAfee returning from the grave.
Nope.
All right. Well, then let's switch gears. This is a breaking story. Well, this is a rumor. This is a hot rumor. Have you heard about this? Jennifer Aniston turning off comments on her Instagram account after a leaked DM has allegedly confirmed that Barack Obama is leaving his spouse for Jennifer Aniston after an affair. Have you heard any of this, Blake?
I did. I saw something like that a couple days ago, and I just thought it was ridiculous, and I didn't believe in it. So, but if there's some smoke to it, and she took down her profile, that would be weird. A lot of people are speculating that Michelle and Obama are on the out. They're going to be divorced or they're separated. They have not been. There's been a lot of big events, including the inauguration, the Jimmy Carter funerals. She has not been there. Seemed like she had a decent excuse, but that's a little weird to miss 2 of those big events. So I'm saying that there's probably they're on the way out, and it looks like Kamala is going to be breaking up with her man as well. So that looks like it's pretty legit.
What if Doug Emhoff ends up with Michelle?
Yeah, that might as well. That would be interesting, kind of a swap of sorts. I don't know. I mean, I don't, for Obama, and I mean, it's nothing personal. I always thought he was, gay. Not that I have an issue with that. I thought he had, Reggie Love was his fling, his affair, and that people speculate Michelle might be a dude. I'm not going to go that. We're not going there, or I'm not sure if I'm going to go there. But not that I care. I don't care what he does in his bedroom, but I've always suspected that he was a homosexual, and he's a bathhouse Barry and all of that. But now he's going to get Jennifer Aniston, so that's weird to me.
In this one here, Melanie King is saying this is hitting real different now. Here's a video of Barack Obama, already disrespectful, telling black men they need to support a sister. But then he come to find out he left Michelle for Jennifer Aniston. Come on. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, okay, of course, missing it. But now here's the thing that I'm looking at. This is Jimmy D-Bag Kimmel putting up the truth about Jen and Barack. Wow. She goes on this trash propaganda outlet, ABC, this trash show, Jimmy Kimmel, with this trash host, Jimmy Kimmel. By the way, this is Nimbus, who keeps rubbing his face on the corner of my laptop, changing the camera angle. Thank you, Nimbus. Here's his tail. Anyway, now that I'm seeing Jennifer Aniston on with Jimmy Kimmel, I don't believe the story anymore. They run ops on ABC. They push bullshit on ABC. They are one of the least trustworthy propaganda rags out there. Do you have any thoughts on that? I was kind of buying into the rumor until I saw that she was on discussing this exact topic with Jimmy Kimmel. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because I've sort of changed my mind after watching that. If I were guessing.
I mean, I just saw something on like X, just scrolling through and just like, oh, come on, another one of these substantiated rumors. I'm not buying it. I had no idea she's on a cover of a magazine and that she was on Jimmy Kimmel. So I guess it's bigger than I thought, but I'm still, not buying it. I mean, it could be. I mean, I don't, I don't care what Barack does. I just assumed he was into dudes. Nothing wrong with that. He's not going to get elected president if you're an open homosexual. But if you can, do the optics, what have you, and that's cool. But no. And then, the Reggie Love thing, the Michelle is a dude thing.
The chef.
I mean, the chef might have known, what was going on and that, Obama was actually the bottom, but I don't know. We have no idea. All the secrets died with the chef in the 6-foot deep water pond that was outside of Martha's Vineyard or what have you.
And this is a report, at least a post saying that the former president attended a private dinner in a secluded room accompanied by Jennifer Aniston, unconfirmed. I don't know if I'm buying that. That allegedly from the inauguration weekend in Washington without Michelle. Who knows? The DM allegedly is... He's with Jennifer Aniston. My old manager, now a friend, is connected to her inner circle. At a gathering with Jennifer's friends, the affair came up casually. Jennifer herself admitted it. They were sitting with a psychic, which makes it sound surreal, but it's definitely not a secret among her close friends. But yeah, this one's saying that the Aniston story is a cover. It's a cut. Well, here, let's let Tucker say his thing real quick.
In 2008, it became really clear that Barack Obama had been having sex with men and smoking crack. And a guy came forward, Larry Sinclair, and said, I'll sign an affidavit. And he did. I'll take a lie detector. And he did. I smoked crack with Barack Obama and had sex with him. Well, that was obviously true. Nobody reported it, not because they were squeamish about sex or drugs, but because the Obama campaign said anyone who reports on this gets no access to the Obama campaign. And so they didn't report on it. So that happened,
and there's a thought out there that this is just an op to take attention away from, like you said, Barack's not into girls. Like it's story after story after story after story. And like you said, not that there's anything wrong with that, to paraphrase, Jerry Seinfeld in that awesome episode. But yeah, I feel like there's an op. I feel like there's something going on here. This is super strange. We'll keep our eyes peeled on it. I mean, it's kind of frivolous. I'm more concerned about immigrations and customs enforcement getting rid of illegal alien criminal violent, nonsensical goofballs from the country. Like I feel like we've been in a surreal experience this whole time. But this is interesting. Trump was there yucking it up and laughing with Barack Obama, and now all this stuff is coming out, and it's something worth referencing. Any final thought on this topic, Blake?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, Larry Sinclair was bathhouse Barry in Chicago, and allegedly he was, he would score cocaine back when he lived in Hawaii because he would, hook up with older men that would supply him. Again, I'm not judging any of those things, but I just always had the idea that he was, a closet homosexual. And Jennifer Aniston, I don't know where that just comes. It's wild.
Well, I'm not surprised by that component in any way. The Democrat Party is the Hollywood party, the Diddy and Epstein place. It's the epicenter of. I mean, look when Biden came out. It was George Clooney and Julia Roberts, and who's doing the movies on Netflix? It's Julia Roberts, and Obama's involved with Netflix. It's Hollywood is one big orgy. It always has been. It's one big orgy, and you don't need to know very much other than they keep it all in house. They really do.
Yeah. And some of these marriages and things, they seem to be political in nature.
Like the Clintons.
Yeah. Clintons would be another one. People suspect, well, Bill's going wild that maybe Hillary was a lesbian. Again, I don't care. But if you want to make that power couple, you Americans aren't ready for that, so they just have to keep it a secret, and I'm fine with that. I just want people that are qualified in there, but I don't care what they do in their bedroom. I think I lost my thought there.
Oh no, let's take our thoughts off of this real quick. Hey, look, we got a comment here from Grizzly. Hey, good to hear from you. Fabled Remedies, by the way. Thank you so much. And that's actually what I just pulled up on the screen here. Look at that. Hurricane Helene, help on the way. There's Grizzly. Go check out the documentary about North Carolina hurricane damage from Helene. And we will definitely let's talk about this next. Let's talk about the Stargate, Blake. If you have
I'll just make one last quick note just on another one. So I guess it looks like maybe they are priming Obama for the divorce, and then people will that's where I was going. They're going to be more easily accepting. Yeah. Oh, he's with Jennifer Aniston. Okay, that makes sense, and he's going to do this whole thing. Meanwhile, it's just a ruse. They're not actually doing anything. They're just trying to gather the public, getting them ready for the ultimate official fallout, like we're seeing with Kamala. Let's pull this one up real quick. Yeah, she's facing major setback as her marriage controversies are raising questions about her political future. Sources are saying the couple suggest Harris, who appeared affectionate and united with Emhoff during her campaign, may now view him as a liability and dead weight. And, since she's a flaming narcissist and she can't blame herself for losing, she's going to try to project and blame other people around her for her losing the election. And certainly he did have a couple of major controversies, including, an affair that he had with the housekeeper, troubling past, perhaps some abuse to an ex-girlfriend. So he's got his own issues. They've got their own issues, but it appears to be two very high-profile divorces in the works, and that's all I've got on that one.
And by the way, that's very similar to what they're doing to Hegseth. It's like anybody who's trying to do any work, they'll rifle through your garbage bin to see whatever they can to get in the way and destroy you. It's how the game is played. I just want to see competent people crushing it. Like that's my main concern. I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. Let's ask about this one, Blake. This one was, like I said, Grizzly jumping in here.
Yeah.
And Project Stargate, we have an obligation to make sure that we don't become Trump sycophants. We are going to address every single issue on its own, independent of who's involved with it. So let's talk about this one. There's a lot being said about the people behind this and about the fallout. So walk us through Project Stargate. Grizzly is asking, he wants to hear our opinions on Trump pushing the new vaccine mRNA technology with the Stargate program. Let me just add one component, by the way. Let me just say one thing before we get started. My cat Nimbus, who made a prominent appearance in today's program, he's an older gentleman. He's 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know, many months ago, he changed and things started stopping for him. His mobility was gone. He couldn't jump up the normal heights anymore. And he's still a little, he's a little unsure of steps sometimes. But there is a shot that he gets once a month, and it is mRNA. And it's been working wonders for him. Now, is this something that's going to last forever? Will it eventually lead to I don't know. But I do know that as I consulted all of the cat groups that I'm in, Crazy Cat Lovers of Cleveland, the TNAM Animal Rescue Group, all sorts of people that give a shit about helping animals, they've had tons of success with hip and back problems, and it's too painful for them to move. They get this injection and they're back to being themselves again. They're jumping up, they're moving around, they're running upstairs. And it's like at some point, if your cat can't cat anymore, the toughest thing you can do is take a cat or a dog in and help them ease out of their misery. And that's a horrible thing to do. It's just it's the word. The only thing worse than doing it is watching them continue to suffer in just agonizing pain. So some mRNA technology has been fantastic for a lot of pet owners, such as myself. Other than that, I'm no expert on this stuff. But of course, the jab was mRNA. So what do you have to say about it, Blake? What can we see here?
That's cool. We got that little DNA helix in the background here. This is a tough call. So I know Robert, inventors of the mRNA, but I don't know if they've thoroughly tested it enough. Certainly could. It's innovative technology, but it's unclear exactly what the long-term consequences could be. And, in the right hands, that's another thing. Do we trust who's administering these things? There's a lot of questions. So there's the Project Stargate begins. Trump is partnering with OpenAI and Oracle, SoftBank, and he's promising massive AI expansion, which, it could be very beneficial, but it could also be used against us. So whether we're taking experimental mRNA vaccines, or if there's going to be a new surveillance grid, or if the AI gets out of control and there's a singularity, there's so many things that could go wrong. Like in theory, if we had the right people in charge and they were really sincere about trying to cure cancer or what have you, they make it sound good. But I don't know if that's it seems kind of unnatural. I'm not sure how they're going to use that or what the procedure would be. So here it is, Trump unveiling.
Blake, real quick, and I'll make a little sidebar and then I'll close this tab. But yeah, this is, and by the way, I don't get any money from this. I'm not sponsored by them, although I would love to do an ad for these guys. Hopefully he can get, but really that is the question. It's like, well, what if there's a long-term problem? And the reaction when I had this conversation with people close to me, they're like, well, if there's a long-term problem with your 19-year-old cat, or the long-term problem is the current problem and you got to put them down. Which one would you rather do? Would you rather try something that's going to work? But it's called Silencia. Not a sponsor, but Silencia has been really helpful as a FDA-approved first ever arthritis pain management drug for cats. So yeah, it's a degenerative disease and affecting 45% of cats and 90% of cats older than 12. And this had been approved for dogs for a long time. And then now it's gone to cats. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because that's really the extent of my understanding of mRNA stuff. It's helped Nimbus quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, conspiracy theorists were, kind of warning that this mRNA stuff could, be catastrophic after 5 years. But a lot of people have already taken this stuff, and they're still seem to be healthy and going well. So for pets, they don't live as long, so maybe that won't affect it as much. And you want them to be, healthy and have a normal life as well. So, yeah, I think it's great, and it's a little easier to test these things on animals before we get to humans. But no, I'm glad that it's if it's helping Nimbus, live a good life, I'm all for it. So I think that's pretty cool. There's a lot of good. Once they get past the testing phase, if they can, kind of master this, but using the power of AI, it could be extremely beneficial. I'm just wondering if everyone is, everyone is worth it. Like, do we want everybody to, live to 150? Like, who gets it? Who should get it? Not that there's a dollar amount on it. I don't. That's where I'm kind of lost. But here we go. We got Trump unveiling a $500 billion plan to end cancer with a vaccine, and the internet has many questions. And MAGA should, according to this, oppose this project to their last breath. Yeah, promises to transform cancer detection and treatment, potential medical breakthrough that could fundamentally reshape health technology and save countless lives. Good stuff. Let's go to, we got to watch out for some of the kind of sinister people that are running this stuff, or with Sam Altman. Do we trust these people?
Yeah, and I have some Sam Altman stuff pulled up. I'll let you get to yours first, but Kenneth says robot pirates say AI captain instead of II.
That's cool.
Robot pirates say AI captain. Arr. Let me mention what Grizzly's saying here. He's saying look into the work of Kevin McKernan and Dr. Jack Kruse. I believe off the top of my head, they found SV40 spiked into the vax and saying it's part of MK Ultra Live. I have very severe concerns about this myself. What about this Sam Altman character?
Yeah, nanotech or something like that. This isn't Sam Altman. I mean, there's some. He's a creeper, and there's something there, and he doesn't seem to have humanity's best interests in mind. I could be wrong. This is Ben Davidson saying they're going to give people cancer on purpose, just in case any of you weren't clear on what's happening right now. So here, we'll watch this quick clip here from Larry Ellison of Oracle saying AI will design these mRNA vaccines for every individual person against cancer, making them robotically in 48 hours. So it can make you a specific vaccine for your cancer in 48 hours. I mean, that sounds amazing, but there sounds like there could be a drawback to this. So let's check it out.
Once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person, design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer. And you can make that vaccine, that mRNA vaccine, you can make that robotically, again, using AI in about 48 hours. So imagine early cancer detection, the development of a cancer vaccine for your particular cancer aimed at you, and have that vaccine available in 48 hours. This is the promise of AI and the promise of the future.
Yeah, again, it's like a lot of these things, they sound like this great, philanthropists. They're going to try to benefit humanity, or are they eugenicists trying to take over and exterminate humanity? So that is what kind of nanotech might be in those things. So do you trust it? Now, if you're a younger person and you've got terminal cancer, I think it sounds awesome. Yeah, just save these people. Or is it going to be used by, rich people so that they can live to be 125? I don't know. A lot of questions about that.
By the way, Elon posting here, Sam Altman literally by the way, Sam Altman is now being implicated in that assassination of the whistleblower up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, keep your eyes on this. I'm not seeing much of anything about Sam Altman that seems to be positive or promising these days. But Elon saying Sam Altman literally testified to Congress that he wouldn't get open AI compensation. And now he wants $10 billion. What a liar. This is showing here the Reuters article saying OpenAI to remove nonprofit control and give Sam Altman equity now. You want to talk about a pump and dump? If you're going to go to Congress saying you're not getting compensated, and then you're getting equity, I mean, God, you're on the level of Fauci making money off of the vaccines. Fauci, he's the highest paid government executive. He's the highest paid government employee, and he makes a commission off of every vax that's sold, or at least every one of those vaxes and the ones that he's affiliated with. And he's promoting public policy that forces people to buy the product. Are you kidding me? I mean, we have entered a really dark time with medical problems, Blake. And Sam Altman kind of at the center of this. I don't entirely know what to make of it, but I have concerns. I have a lot of concerns about Sam Altman and what's going on here. And you know what? Talking about Fauci and kind of having vested interests in the technology that you're promoting becomes forced public policy. Comedian Andrew Schultz, he has a problem with this stuff too. And Blake, I'll give it back to you after this one, but we can go back to Altman or wherever you want to take it. But since I brought up Fauci, let me just play this quick clip.
But Fauci took the pardon. Fauci could say, I don't want the pardon. I don't think I did anything wrong. But he took the pardon.
I don't blame anybody for taking the pardon.
I do, because now you're guilty. Because there are a lot of people that were on the January 6th committee that were offered a pardon, and they said no. They're like, I did my job. I was supposed to investigate this. I did what I was supposed to do. I don't want the pardon.
If you're Fauci, you're not taking a pardon?
What's in my arm, yo?
What's in your arm, not mine.
That's what I'm saying. What's in my arm, yo? Why are you taking a pardon? What's in my arm, yo?
I don't care.
What's in my arm?
I'm taking that part. I don't give a fuck.
If I put some shit in my arm, you're not allowed to get pardoned. You told me I need to put some shit in my arm.
And Blake, that's the gist I'm getting at. They told you that you need to. And this stuff, if Fauci's allowed to skate without facing repercussions, ramifications, you can ask Kenneth on today's TNAM AM show. By the way, stay tuned for our 5 o'clock strictly football program, talking about the conference championship games, and maybe a quick update on how awesome the national championship game was. But yeah, I got kind of fired up over Fauci today, as you know why. Killed my brother. They were doing gain of function. They weren't supposed to. They just named it something else. They released it intentionally. Prove me wrong. I don't think it was accidental. Oh, no, a bat kissed a pangolin. They held hands in the park, and here we go. That's what it was. Bullshit. It's intentional until you can prove otherwise. Fauci behind it, problem and solution. Now he makes money off of it, and he sets the public policy, says, you need this. How many companies and military members were told, if you do not do this, you cannot earn? That is literally the mark of the beast. The 666, the stamp of Satan, whatever you want to call it, you must inject this into you, or you cannot work, you cannot earn, you cannot buy products. You are non-personed. We are in a time right now where the Fauci files have got to come out, because they're going to do it again. If we let him skate, they're going to do it again. And I don't want this to happen again, Blake.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. He needs to be held accountable for many different things. And he's been causing many problems for decades. Yeah. So whether that's during the AIDS crisis, you could look at maybe hundreds of thousands of people died then, and he's still somehow the top paid bureaucrat in Washington. And yeah, he demonized all of the potential cheap, easy cures, and made everybody try to do, his advice and wear a mask and stand 6 feet apart and take an experiment or take his remdesivir. And then, of course, they covered up the whole scandal with the Wuhan lab leak, and that he was funding gain of function research. Yeah, there's no way that the blanket pardon should just protect him from everything. He has to be held to account.
And what was AIDS? Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. What are they saying are the side effects of taking this experimental jab? Your regular immune system has been compromised, and it is no longer going to be capable of fighting back as robustly as it had been able to do prior to that. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that is the accusation that's being made. And holy shit, it fits the profile of what Fauci's all about and the repercussions and the ramifications. I put Fauci on the list as one of the most evil humans to have ever disgraced walking the face of this earth, Blake. Who would you put in the Mount Rushmore of most evil humans? I'll put Fauci and 3 others. Who do you put? Question of the day to the people out there in the audience. Type it in the comments. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Follow us on Rumble and YouTube and X at American_media_. Follow Blake at TV's Blake Walley. Question of the day: who is on your Mount Rushmore of 4 most evil people? By the way, I'm filibustering. I'm stalling so I can give you a couple seconds to think up your top 4, Blake.
I think I got it.
Let's go. Top 4. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of evil people?
It was, I think I said it before. It's George Soros, Bill Gates. I was going to say Obama, but maybe Fauci could be up there. And then Bibi Netanyahu. It's a controversial one, but
not to you.
I stand by it. All right.
All right. Did you have more on Sam Altman and this?
Just to say, I wouldn't trust the dude. He tried to like program that AI stuff. It was like woke Chat GPT. He was like manipulating the results. So he wasn't even giving like accurate info from Chat GPT. And remember, they exposed it because it was showing all these like prominent historical figures, like George Washington. They were all like African American, like
Brother Washington.
Yeah, it was so like over the top, like woke and ridiculous. And then he's probably got his fingerprints all over this whistleblower that died. So I want him out of there. And I want this Larry Ellison. I don't trust him. I'm a little disappointed maybe with Trump.
Yeah,
that he's putting some of these people up there. I don't trust them.
I agree. Kenneth saying he listened to Careless Whisper, and now he has hearing aids. Thanks for that. Hearing aids. Never before has AIDS been funny. Too soon? No, not too soon. Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to cover on this one, sir?
No. I think that's everything.
Okay. Then the question of the day has been posed and tossed in there. All right. Let me kind of just scroll through. Let's go lightning round. Blake, we're at an hour. Would you like to bounce? This is your preferred clock striking 12 moment. You let me know. We could do another 20.
No, not necessarily.
All right.
Yeah, I'm done. I know you got your other show coming up in about 30 minutes. No, I'm all here for it.
Awesome. Just there's McAfee. I would love to see McAfee come on. Okay, let's talk about this. The CBP1 app release. There are now 0 CBP1 app releases, and total apprehensions at the southern border have dropped to 766 compared to 12,000 a day under that traitor Joe Biden. What a difference a president makes, Blake. What's your take on Homan and these deportations that are beginning?
It's sad that it's happening, but I guess they have no one to blame but themselves. And there's the administration that had this ridiculous open border policy, and these people came in knowing that they shouldn't be here, but thought they figured they could skate through. And I get it, but it's not supposed to work that way. And there are so many criminals that are in this country that absolutely have to be rounded up. It's a massive security issue. I do have a video. I'm sure you probably have it too. That was one of the ones I was going to.
Yeah, pull it up. Today. But by the way, this one here just says, this is how close humanity is to understanding that their governments are organized criminals. I mean, it is the mafia. It is insanity that we've allowed this to happen. But this guy screaming from the back of a cop car.
Okay. Yep, that's exactly what I have.
Oh, yeah. It's the video of the day. This couldn't have been scripted any more perfectly to show exactly why what Trump is doing is correct. Who do we want in our country? Do we want people who want to be here, deserve to be here, they've assimilated, they're contributing, or do you want this?
Right. And just, quick note. Trump has designated criminal gangs, Tren de Aragua from Venezuela and the MS-13 from El Salvador as terrorist organizations.
The war is on.
Yes, absolutely. And so we're rounding some of these people up today. Yes, great video. Here we go.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
17 criminal convictions from.
Why are they letting him out?
That's a sanctuary city, Brian. You can get away with whatever you want.
Good.
But not anymore.
But here.
You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, now he's even saying like F Trump and Joe Biden forever and thank Obama, because that's all came under these radical leftist policy.
In recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
You can come into our country and commit crimes.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Why would you release a rapist? Those are the biggest fucking monsters on the planet. You're going to hold down somebody and forcibly penetrate them? Fuck right off. Anybody that's going, a district attorney, a mayor, somebody on the board of directors, a city council, anybody that's pushing to just get rid of rape penalties can fuck right off with them. You know what? The people involved in these sanctuary cities, Blake, the people involved in this stuff, I think the penalty should be that person responsible. Is it the Boston mayor? Is it George Soros for putting these DAs in there? Grab the DA from the city. I don't care who exactly. Put them in the same jail cell as the rapist and just walk away for a while. Give it a month. Bring them back. Let's see if they may have changed their tune on that. I just can't stand how they are terrorizing Americans. I don't understand how they get off on this. Where is the payoff? What could they possibly have to gain, Blake? What in the world am I missing here where they are perpetuating, inviting, allowing this shit to happen in America? I don't feel like I'm overreacting here.
No, you're not. That's a normal reaction. It's what a lot of people are thinking, and they're feeling it now. Whether it's here or in England, they got hit hard with that and the crazy rape gangs they have going on there. Wow. And they're just trying to sweep it all under the rug like there's nothing happening. And as you mentioned, the Mount Rushmore of evil, if you take Obama and George Soros, they definitely have responsible blood on their hands from all of this sanctuary city insanity and letting these people in, and then the prosecutors aren't doing anything. So they control it. And there was another article I picked up the other day. It was Eric Adams, and he was talking to Tucker Carlson about their border policy, and he had like 5 words that Biden told him, because Eric Adams is like, they're getting overwhelmed in New York. Yeah, like this is like, they can't keep doing this, and he's under the pressure of trying to abide by the people in his party, and that's what allegedly what Joe Biden said to him. It's like, be a good Democrat.
Be a good Democrat. Yeah, and you know what? If you're not going to be a good Democrat, we will destroy you. And what did they do? They weaponized the justice system to take him out because he refused a direct order from the crime boss. Fuck Biden. Fuck the deep state. These people have had a run of terror for far too long. How many innocent people have been raped and killed? Families forever destroyed because of Obama, Biden, Soros, and their ilk. All across this country, it's been happening. For what gain? Where the hell is that a positive component to helping America, helping Americans, making the country better? There is no graphic, no dynamic, no metric that could be used that could show me that this is a positive policy for the country, Blake.
I think it's just like order out of chaos. It would be nice if there was a way to figure out what they're actually talking about behind closed doors. You know, George Soros, what is his plan? And it seems to be, they're going to get Democratic voters, and then they're going to cause so many issues, and then they're going to have some radical solution that's going to involve, getting rid of freedom of speech and the Second Amendment.
Taking your guns, censoring you online, saying we had to endure 4 years of this mess, 4 years of this. But we've had to endure 12 of the last 16 years because Obama was the president under Joe Biden. Biden has been completely out to lunch for 4 years. He doesn't know what he's doing. This is Obama and his team pulling the puppet strings. 12 of the last 12 of the last 16 years has been an Obama disaster for the country. So, all right.
Absolutely.
Let me bring this up real quick because we're talking about Tren de Aragua and MS-13 and all these gangs. Well, one of the biggest gangs, unfortunately, with the Mexican cartels, it's sort of common knowledge that the CIA runs that too. I just, the mind can only be blown so many ways.
There's so much money involved, though, Brian. They got to get their piece of it somehow.
Well,
plus they get to infiltrate these cartels and they infiltrate the drug business. They got to funnel money from these dark projects that they can keep off the books. So, and they can sort of run them and keep their eye on them. I don't know. It's an incestuous relationship. It has no business being like that. I hear you.
It's like a Hollywood orgy where they're all just greased palms, just grabbing. And anyway, I can't even make that analogy without grossing myself out. But Bridget put this out here, Light on Liberty. So the CIA murders JFK. The Warren Commission absolves the CIA. Nixon knows that the CIA murdered JFK. 4 of the 5 Watergate burglars work for the CIA. The CIA frames Nixon for Watergate. Ford is chosen as Nixon's replacement. Ford was on the Warren Commission. How on God's green earth can anti-Trump liberals actually believe that government corruption in government started in 2016 because of Donald Trump? The centerpiece of the downward spiral of our nation will always circle around to that fateful day on November 22nd, 1963, the day our own government murdered a sitting U.S. president on live TV who tried to push back against the cabal for we, the people, while a compliant media covered it all up and still does to this day. Corruption is being exposed at the inducted speed of light. The public should be furious. People are starting to realize our government has been corrupt since its inception. And not only was President Trump not responsible for that, he's responsible for helping expose that fact. People are awake now, and more than any other point in history, and they are starting to see it. So it's about Bob Woodward and the FBI feeding him information and fake reporter, working with the deep state. Blake, we're talking about Trump potentially releasing the JFK, RFK files here. And I just want to play this because this is the other main story of the day. And then I'll kind of give it to you to kind of go through whatever you have on the way out. But let's just take a look at the person who tried to successfully convince President Trump to not release the JFK files the first time around. This is Mike Pompeo. Let's hear what he has to say.
Why'd you fight to keep the JFK files secret?
Because I was trying to keep Americans safe. And by the way, don't paint with too broad a brush. 99.6% of the JFK files are public today.
But it was 60 years ago.
John, not everything was 60 years ago. And I don't want to spend a lot of time walking through this, but suffice it to say, the definition of a document covered by this statute that you're referring to, it's a little bit wonky, but suffice it to say, if Congress holds a hearing tomorrow on the Kennedy assassination, the documents generated tomorrow will be part of those files. Those would be tomorrow, they'd be 60 seconds old, not 60 years old. And last thing I'll say is there are things that happened 60 years ago that are still important to keep in the vault. There are lots of things that happened that long ago that still are appropriate not to release.
He continues, but your thoughts on that first part?
No, this is awful. This is the deep state taking over the executive branch. And yes, they got rid of JFK, who was a menace to the deep state at that time. And they set up his assassination, and they had Lyndon Baines Johnson probably on board, ready to take over. He was not that big a fan of Jack. Yeah, he was loving the idea of taking over. Yes, we'll go into Vietnam. Yes, we'll stop getting off the FBI's ass or the CIA or what have you. So they had their patsy assassin who got blamed for the murder. Then they took him out. And so, they covered this whole thing up for 60. And how many witnesses, dozens of witnesses that said, no, I saw a guy in Grassy Knoll take a shot. Oh, thank you so much for telling us that. We're going to report on that. Then, boom, that person gets into a car accident and then they disappear. It's amazing what they did. And they need to pay for it. Even though it's 60 years later, I know they're trying to wait for everybody involved to die.
No. We're not doing that. We're not waiting until people involved are gone. They need to face justice the same way that the Nuremberg trials, they went after people, including John Jamaniuk over in Cleveland, Ohio, where I was growing up. You go after the people as long as you can. You find the people involved and you make sure that they're around so their legacy is tainted and they get to see it. And God willing, they get to go to jail and suffer ramifications for it. I don't know what they're covering. Well, anyway, let's let this Pompeo finish his point.
Think of names and addresses and families. And by the way, there's also no value in them. These don't hold the dark secrets that everybody wants to just hold up as the bogeyman. I saw the UFO files too. We've got bigger problems in America.
By the way, did you catch that? Did you see how he threw a smoke grenade down the hallway here? We're talking about something. He's not making sense. He's stammering and he's noticing that he's floundering. So when in doubt, say this thing.
The dark secrets that everybody wants to just hold up as the bogeyman. I saw the UFO files too. We've got bigger problems in America, lots of bigger problems.
And there's that fake laugh. That wasn't a laugh line. It's the Kamala nervous, I'm kind of in over my head here laugh. He went to the UFOs. He goes, oh, you think Kennedy was bad? How about them UFOs? Hey, I think they'll buy this UFO shit.
Right.
All right, let it.
No, yeah, he's just deflecting. But yeah, we want to know what's going. We should have a right to know.
Yeah, and because they shot President Trump in the head.
Right. Certain things.
Is it the CIA? Is it an ancillary group? Whatever. Did the Secret Service? Like, I'm not entirely certain who they are, but this stuff is still happening. It's still relevant. And if you let them get away with JFK, you're gonna have RFK. You're gonna have MLK. You're gonna have Donald Trump. You're going to have it in the future. If you let Fauci get away with his shit, if you let Fauci get away with AIDS in the 80s, 30 years later, you're going to get coronavirus in 2019. You have to root out the cancer. All right, let's let him finish here.
Just because something is kept secret, why not go to the darkest corners? But it's a lot of fun. I'm happy to go there with you if you'd like.
I'm no expert in this, but it just makes no sense to me. The 60 years ago that there are things in there
sure.
Like,
sure.
Hypothetically, just for example.
Imagine you had an operative operating somewhere in the world who was 20 years old at the time they were doing that work. 60 years ago puts them at 80 today. Average lifespan of an American male, something in that range. Yeah, you should keep their identity secret.
Oh, could that be Bush?
Could be. They say George Bush, HW Senior. Yeah, he could have absolutely been involved. I don't know if he was actually there or what have you, but yeah, he said it was a big CIA guy.
And what if his payback? What? Oh, you do this for me, and we'll make you president. I don't know. We're on day 3 now, and we still haven't had this released yet, and I'm starting to get a little antsy. I want this information. I've wanted it my entire media career. I've wanted it since I've been old enough to understand what happened, because it's always felt like nefarious groups inside of our government working against our own best interests did this. And I've never been okay.
Kennedy assassination in America.
Right, exactly. Precisely right. Remember what the scope of these files is, John. The scope of these files isn't reduced to just what was happening inside the United States government. The scope of these files is legion.
Mike Pompeyed off. Yeah.
Anything that was talked about in the course of, there were hearings in the 90s, there were hearings in the 2000s, they ran far afield around the world. Anything that was part of those files is included in this. And so I had a chance to see not all of those documents, but most of them. The news value of them is grossly overrated, and the desire to keep them secret, the motivation, the rationale for keeping them secret is wholly justified. I think we released, I can't remember on our watch, 140,000, 180,000 pages of those documents while I was the CIA director. Totally appropriate to do so, and as time goes on, we should do our best. The most important reason to do it is because everybody out there talking about these things will get to see that there's less there than meets the eye. I'll leave it.
Yeah, you leave it at that. So we're still waiting to see if that's going to be,
Well, yeah, it's just, we've only been in office for a couple of days. As far as I know, Tulsi Gabbard hasn't been in yet. Kash Patel, still got to wait for RFK. None of them have officially been in, as far as I know. But once that infrastructure and the right people are in place, then you can start seeing some answers for that. So,
yeah, and they're trying to block DNI Radcliffe from going into the CIA now, I believe. So. If I'm getting my alphabet agencies properly sorted out. Okay, we're kind of wrapping up against the deadline here, Blake. What else was in your stack that you felt interested in talking about? And if you had one or two, I'll scroll and see if I left anything else on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, I'll just make a quick lightning. Let's see. Yeah, Trump deploying military to the southern border, so that's good to see. We already covered part of this video. There's
Dominican illegal
many
alien
more. They're just rounding up gang
charged with
members
assault with a
all
deadly
over.
weapon
I think this is
and
all
heroin
Boston or
trafficking.
in various locations, but it's good to see. Yeah, Tom Homan's holding his word. Day one, start rounding these guys up, getting all these criminals out of our neighborhoods. Another thing, they actually found 4 illegal immigrants charged with targeting NFL superstar Joe Burrow. Like a whole bunch of those NFL.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, you've heard of this, right? There's so many, like in Kansas City, but there's all over there. They're professional, thieves, and I think a lot of them are from these gangs in South America, and that's another problem that they have. So they're finding out who, when these guys are on Instagram, or they're going to go on the road, and they're not going to be in their house for a few days, and then they target their home, steal their stuff. But I guess they did finally make one bust after Joe Burrow. Yeah, it was multi-million-dollar homes, multiple states. So good. So good riddance. Get these guys all out of the country. Another interesting story popped up is Rand Paul talking about, remember Eric Ciaramella? Remember, we weren't even allowed to say his name. You couldn't say his name. He couldn't even say it on the House floor. People would freak out. He was the guy he accused Trump of a quid pro quo deal to investigate Hunter Biden's corruption in Ukraine. Turns out he was an active participant in the Biden's quid pro quo to fire the prosecutor going after Hunter Biden's sweetheart $1 million Ukrainian gig when he was working for Burisma. See, so when he pointed this out on the Senate floor, Chief Justice John Roberts attempted to censor me. YouTube attempted to censor me, but he finally eluded all the censors by posting about how partisan Ciaramella was. And we've got this out of real clear investigations that the impeachment whistleblower was in the loop of the Biden-Ukraine affairs that Trump wanted probed. You got Alexander Vindman and Eric Ciaramella. As soon as Trump got a little too close to what was going on with the corruption scandal in Ukraine, they protected these two assets and made it, and then spun it all on Trump, and then tried to censor anybody who was even talking about it. And what does it come down to? It was Joe Biden threatening to fire this prosecutor who was investigating his son and all of the corrupt business dealings that they had going on that they didn't want the public to find out about it. Here's the clip that the mains you won't see on the legacy media that this should have been a massive scandal, and they kind of got away with it so far, but we'll see what happens now. Because Vindman, they're outraged. Alexander Vindman did not get the blanket preemptive.
The wife was really pissed. It's happening. These people are going down. If you saved a couple of Biden crime family members, if you saved Fauci, good luck. Everyone else is going down, and you're all getting exposed. You're not going to be able to walk the streets. Wherever you happen to be, you're persona non grata. Blake, it's happening. This is so overdue. This is so overdue.
Absolutely. So let's check it out.
I remember going over convincing our team, or others too, convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone.
Yeah.
We've played that clip 1,000 times on this show, Blake.
Yep. No, it's a great one. And this should be played at the trial for the Biden family. Like, here it is. Well, they were freaking out about Ciaramella and, Alexander Vindman's such a hero. And I was like, no, Trump had every right to ask a few questions about what was actually going on. There was a massive scandal, and they absolutely freaked out when it happened, and then they shut it down.
They impeached Trump because he pointed out all the fraud.
Yeah.
That was Trump's big crime. That's why he was such a bad guy that I had to impeach him. He was exposing their money laundering, which led to hundreds of thousands of, actually millions of injured, maimed, and dead over there in that war after they overthrew that regime with Zelensky as the puppet and Victoria Nuland pulling strings with Obama and Biden. I mean, it's so gross, Blake. Just zero F's to give about humanity.
Definitely. And one of the major culprits covering up those scandals is CNN, who's under fire, laying off hundreds of employees this week. Could be as soon as Thursday. That's today. The struggling network can't seem to get out of its own way. Like MSNBC, CNN saw its ratings crash immediately following November and has not recovered.
Maybe I should reach out to CNN about taking the show over there. They need to get away from their bullshit programming, and they will get ratings. Scott, what's that guy? Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings is a superstar now because he's been allowed to speak for a couple of days on CNN. He's been on for a couple of months, and it's like, oh my gosh, Scott Jennings is fantastic. They need to lose their dead weight, get rid of their CIA operatives, and just put good content on. Their ratings will come back up, and if they're interested in money, they'll make money. Maybe I'll apply at CNN, bring the show over there, try to pitch it.
Or perhaps they'll go back to headline news like they used to. I don't know. Well, yeah, that'd be cool too. They can start hiring some other people. That includes you, Brian. Go for it. CNN, they've also said...
Blake, if I got a show, I would be bringing you. Don't you worry about it.
Oh, well, thank you much. We'll see how...
You're like, I wouldn't be anywhere near CNN. I wouldn't either, except... They cannot continue doing their goofy bullshit. Nobody's buying it anymore.
Right. But if they wanted to control the message, then what would happen then? That'd be different. They'd be like, yeah, Brian, sure, we'll give you a show, but you're not allowed to criticize, this person, or you're not allowed to talk about this. You're not allowed to talk about Big Pharma. You're not allowed to go after Fauci. They would make all these ground rules, and you would say, yes, sir. But that's the price you pay once you sell your soul for the legacy media.
Yeah.
But CNN boss directing top journalists to refrain from attacking Trump in the second presidency. So that's interesting. Different boss there. Also, I think it's hilarious. CNN's Jim Acosta is getting hosed as the network mulls moving anti-Trump anchor to midnights. So you talk about a massive demotion. There you go. I don't know exactly know.
Why is he still on the air? He's, fine. Go ahead. Crash the plane. Crash the plane, CNN. If that's what you want, fine, crash it. They're probably making all their money off the deep state. Since Obama reversed Smith-Mundt, CNN and MSNBC have just been total Looney Tunes. But if that money's dried up, how could they possibly continue it? We'll see. We'll see.
Right. So here's Jim Acosta getting roasted, walking into one yesterday on air with Congressman Burchett. So let's check this one out.
Was covered on CNN. What you're saying, this is not Fox, Congressman. You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over people's eyes.
You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over your eyes like they do on Fox, because CNN is somehow the arbiters of truth. Give me a fucking break. Here we go.
Yeah. This is CNN. This is the news.
This is CNN.
This is CIANN. How about that? CIANN, Kenneth.
There you go.
We're asking you to come on and tell the truth.
And that's why more people are watching the Cartoon Network SpongeBob reruns right now, Jim.
It's covered on CNN. What you're saying.
Yep.
They're watching the Game Show Network. They're catching a rerun of me on the Game Show Network more than they're watching CNN.
Yeah, it's true. It's amazing how their ratings have absolutely cratered. So they're gone. I don't even know if they're on the airports anymore or just in these little public areas. But yeah, they're gone, just like MSNBC. And good riddance. So they deserve it. And Jim Acosta is awful. So yeah, it's a joke. All right, Brian, I got one other story, and then we can wrap this up.
By the way, follow Blake. He's at thenextlevelnews.com. That's the archive. Check out. I feel like you should bring Eccentric Perspective back on X, or like do another, but whatever. It's TV's Blake Walley. TV's Blake Walley on X. Make sure you're following him there. Follow the New American Media in all of the places, please. Thank you very much. All right. What is the kind of saying? TNAM is the soon go-to media. Hopefully, yeah, we will be the new go-to media. And yeah, check out the New American Media Rumble, YouTube. We talked with Ashley Babbitt's mother outside the DC detention facility. We talked with Stuart Rhodes outside the DC detention facility, filmed a flag burning and filmed somebody stealing the flag to keep it from burning, then a cop taking it away. And then I interviewed that guy. It was just all sorts of interesting little tidbits from the Trump inauguration in DC. Check out all of that content if you would. Okay. Oh, I love that frowny face from Jim Acosta.
Yeah. What a rotten guy. I'm glad. Yeah, he's going to get midnight and they're going to maybe force him to quit. Good riddance, Jim.
Yeah.
He's masquerading as a journalist. He gives everyone a bad name. All right. The last one I've got is what to know about Trump's executive order on gender. This is hilarious. The order defining male and female based on biology while eliminating gender ideology initiatives from the previous administration, getting rid of the DEI, many things. Let's see. Also getting rid of no more LGBTQ flags on embassies. Trump orders there's only one flag allowed. No more activist BS that doesn't belong on the White House or any of these federal buildings. So enough of that insanity. Some people did not take that well, including at the Minnesota Capitol, my old home stomping grounds, as well as Kenneth B here in the chat. So let's take a look at this.
Whose house is this? Whose house is this? You chicken meatball-headed motherfucker. Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Whose house is this? It'll be on every fucking news organization in the country. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Okay, well, there you see, it's a lot of mental illness, and I'm looking forward to healing the country. I mean, I don't care if you want to go identify. We're not supposed to, like, it's like we're enabling them.
To what Dave Chappelle said something along the lines of, you can do whatever you want, be whoever you want to be. But to what degree am I required to participate in your delusion?
Yeah, that's
like why is this a me thing? You do you, but it's not like I need to play this game. I don't want to participate in whatever you're doing. I'm not interested. I'm not going to attack you for it. But to what degree am I supposed to play along? Why is this a me thing? That's a you thing, not a me thing.
Right. Yeah, and it's literally enabling mental illness. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't care what these people do either, but don't force me along. Chappelle did great, and he did great monologue SNL last week. So good stuff.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I will have to check it out. Thank you for that reminder. Okay, cool. Is there anything that we didn't get to that we wanted to touch on the way out the door? Anything you want to promote, Blake? You have your new show coming out, of course.
Yeah, we're still, trying to figure out what we're going to do going forward, scheduling different shows and what have you. I can't take up, and trying to figure out where I'm going to balancing it all. But I'm going to try to do an Eccentric Perspective show at least once a week, just a matter of where, maybe Wednesday, Fridays. Still working that out, Brian. I don't know. And we can talk over the weekend or what have you. Because you got a lot of stuff going on now. You got a morning show.
TNAM AM.
Right. TNAM AM. Okay, cool.
Yeah, TNAM AM, a morning show. And this is kind of where I'm going to unpack some of the stuff on our TNAM Instagram page. It's like almost no setup required. I'm just going to kind of unpack the news and play clips, and we're going to watch it and unpack it together. A little ranting, of course, and including the comments as they come in. And the football show is probably going to wrap up real soon. There's only going to be like a couple of weeks left of this. So looking forward to this one coming up at 5:00 Eastern, or as close to 5 as I can. But yeah, and agree to all the things, man. It's like I got one voice left. I'm just going to let it all out there in as many places as I can and see what happens. So I think it's going to be a big year. Last year was a big year, but I don't know. I'm feeling it's something unique, something interesting right now. So I'm trying to feel the pulse and follow my gut instinct. My gut instinct says double down, triple down, quadruple down. I think something's going to happen. I can't really explain why, but I just feel like it's the right thing. So regardless, we're here for it, and we're here to talk about all the things happening in the news. Once spin to the tunes at Hog's Breath
Bar. It's a bar in St. Paul. It's a iconic place, but I don't know. It's getting a little old, a little weird. Right? I did visit it last time I was in Minnesota.
I like TNAM on caffeine. That's kind of fun. Yeah. TNAM in the AM. Yeah, and Tuesday and Thursday, 3 o'clock. I will keep doing Agree to Disagree. Blake, we're just kind of
we're talking about some things.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of moving it to night, and then but I don't know. We're negotiating on.
We're going to figure it out.
Right, figuring out a schedule, and I don't want to take up too many afternoons or what have you. It's a lot of moving pieces, but it's a new year, so we're just trying to figure out a formula and a schedule that works going forward. So just trying some new things, and we'll see what happens. But we thank you all for your support.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And we're going to be talking football, Blake. I don't know if you had any interest in talking any football, but we're going to do that in a couple minutes. You're more than welcome. Always invited.
Yeah, because
there's only 4 games to talk about. Now we're down to
right. Oh yeah, you could talk about the playoff results of last week in the national championship, and then the 2 games for the conference championships and the Super Bowl, and it's almost over. Football season is finished. It looks like so. It was good.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up for now. I appreciate everybody watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and link up with us to be continued. We'll talk to you a little